Excuse me, but I've got something to tell you first. Thank you for ruining my life! Okay, I didn't go ice skating. I went to a party.
I just remember everybody, people that were not involved in the scene at all, coming to set that afternoon to see.
Oh no!
And I just remember Karen Parsons, who played Hillary Banks, Karen, Alfonso, just like, and you know, we had the cameras on.
What really went on behind the scenes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Tatyana Ali, who played Ashley Banks on the show, is finally speaking out. Were there hidden problems on the set that no one knew about? Did the cast always get along? Or were there big fights?
Legally, I'm not allowed to talk about it. But hey. Why not? Basically, at the end of the day, it was crazy.
Tatyana Ali is ready to reveal some of the darkest secrets from her time on the show. Could these secrets change the way fans see the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? What was it really like working with such a famous cast? Let's find out.
I didn't send the IRS their money, okay? I didn't necessarily forget, but I didn't send them their money, and you know, they wanted it. They wanted it.
So when you think of Will Smith, you probably remember his breakout role in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But what if I told you that Will Smith only became the Fresh Prince because he was in big trouble with the IRS? That's right. Before becoming a famous actor, Will Smith was struggling with serious financial problems. Let's take a look at how this all happened.
So they came to get their money, and I didn't have it, so they took everything else.
Will Smith started his career as a rapper, teaming up with his friend DJ Jazzy Jeff. Together, they released an album called He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, which was a huge success. It went triple platinum, and they even won a Grammy. But instead of saving his money or paying his taxes, Will spent a lot of it on fancy cars, designer clothes, and a lavish lifestyle. The problem? He forgot to pay his taxes, and by the time the IRS caught up with him, he owed $2.8 million in back taxes. Things got worse when Will's follow-up album didn't do well. He jokingly said it went double plastic, meaning it was a huge flop. With little money left and a mountain of debt to the IRS, Will found himself in a really tough spot. He needed a break, and fast.
So it was that period in my life that Quincy found me. Yeah, it was before the internet was huge, so you don't know all of those things about it.
That break came when he met Benny Medina, a producer, on the set of the Arsenio Hall show. Medina had the idea for The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a sitcom about a street-smart kid from Philadelphia who moves in with his rich relatives. Will auditioned for the role at Quincy Jones's house, and despite his financial mess, he got the part. However, his financial troubles didn't magically disappear. The IRS took 70% of his paychecks from the Fresh Prince for the first 3 years to cover his tax debt. Ouch.
Great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him!
Also, Will also had some emotional moments while working on the show. One of the most famous scenes from the show is when Will's character is abandoned by his father. This scene was more than just acting for Smith. It reflected some of his own childhood pain. In a 2019 interview on The Graham Norton Show, Smith opened up about his difficult relationship with his father, who had been abusive. Smith talked about how seeing his father abuse his mother affected him deeply. He was determined not to repeat the same patterns in his own family. Will and his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, decided to make their home a peaceful place, free of violence and even profanity. In an episode of Red Table Talk, Smith explained, "I watched my father punch my mother in the face, and I won't create a space like that in my home." His commitment to peace in his household is a way of healing from his past.
Mr. Jazz.
Remember DJ Jazzy Jeff? The guy who played Will's best friend Jazz had his own funny and painful experience during filming. One of the most memorable scenes in the show is when Jazz gets thrown out of the Banks mansion by Uncle Phil, played by James Avery. This moment became iconic, and fans of the show loved watching Jazz get thrown out in multiple episodes. But there's a reason why that scene is always the same. There have been rumors that the scene of Jazz being thrown out was only filmed once. To save time and money, the producers decided to use the same clip every time Jazz was thrown out. In reality, DJ Jazzy Jeff didn't have to perform that painful stunt over and over again. But even though they only filmed it once, DJ Jazzy Jeff admitted that the stunt hurt. It wasn't as easy as it looked, and it left him feeling a bit sore. That's why stunt doubles are so important in shows. They can handle the tough stuff while keeping the actors safe. But looking back, those experiences helped shape him into the talented, strong individuals they are today. Now back to Will. As Will began to explore more opportunities in Hollywood while still starring in The Fresh Prince, he took on movie roles and proved he was more than just a rapper. As the show went on, he became a household name. But some cast members don't think so. One even called him an entitled celebrity who had too much money and not enough respect for his elders. Still wondering who I am talking about? Well, I am talking about Aunt Viv from the TV show. If you watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you probably noticed something strange. The actress who played Aunt Viv changed after the third season. In the first 3 seasons, Aunt Viv was played by Janet Hubert, who brought a lot of warmth and strength to the role. But then suddenly she was replaced by Daphne Maxwell-Reid. Fans were left wondering what happened behind the scenes. The feud between Janet Hubert and Will Smith is one of the longest and most bitter arguments in Hollywood. It started way back in 1993 when Janet Hubert, who played Aunt Vivian on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, was fired from the show. Ever since then, the bad feelings between her and Smith have continued, with no sign of peace for many years.
And those things never happened. She never left the set. I never left the set. We got along great. I think he was young and he was inexperienced, and I think he simply had to win.
Janet Hubert has always said that Will Smith was the reason she was fired. She believes that Smith used his power and influence to get rid of her. In a 1993 interview with Jet magazine, Hubert directly blamed Smith for her being let go from the show. She said, "He has a lot of clout. He has gotten me fired from the show, and now he is trying to snatch my career away from me." These are strong words, and Hubert has repeated similar accusations many times over the years.
And I went back to them in 2009 and I said, please, I need you to clear my name.
You talked to him directly?
I spoke to JL when my dad died and my brother died.
Will Smith hasn't always been quiet about the issue either. In the past, he made comments that seemed to make things worse. One of the most controversial moments came when he was interviewed on an Atlanta radio station. In that interview, Smith said that Hubert wanted the whole show to revolve around her character, Aunt Vivian. He even went as far as calling her the Antichrist in their relationship, which shocked many fans and definitely didn't help their feud. Hubert didn't stop at criticizing Smith. She also had strong words for Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton Banks on the show. She said that both Smith and Ribeiro ruined her career by spreading lies about her behavior on set. She even reached out to Smith and his manager in 2009, asking them to clear her name, but it didn't seem to help. In 2016, Will Smith tried to soften the tension by praising Hubert. In an interview, he said she was a brilliant and powerful artist. Some people saw this as a sign that Smith wanted to make peace, but Hubert didn't seem to be convinced. Now, the real reason for their feud seems to be more complicated. In interviews, Hubert has said that her contract with NBC was very strict and unfair. She felt she wasn't getting the recognition or respect she deserved, even though the show was a big success. Hubert also mentioned that Hollywood can be a tough place to feel valued, especially for women of color. To make matters worse, Hubert filed a lawsuit against NBC and Will Smith, claiming she was treated unfairly during her pregnancy. She said the work environment became hostile while she was expecting, even though her character's pregnancy was written into the show. This lawsuit added to the controversy and fueled rumors that her firing was because of her pregnancy. However, in recent years, they seem to have mended their relationship. In a 2020 Fresh Prince reunion special, Hubert and Smith sat down and talked about their issues, finally finding some closure. Meanwhile, Alfonso Ribeiro, who was known for his role as Carlton, also took jabs at Hubert. In a stand-up comedy routine in 2009, he called her crazy and said she made the set of The Fresh Prince a difficult place to work. He described moments where Hubert would get angry and yell at the cast and crew, making everyone uncomfortable. According to Ribeiro, Hubert's actions broke the family-like bond that the cast had. He said, "We felt like when we were doing The Fresh Prince, we were a family, but she ruined that." Even though many years have passed since Janet Hubert's departure from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, her feud with Will Smith and Alfonso Ribeiro is still a topic of conversation. With no modern technology like cell phones or social media at the time, the full story remains unclear, and both sides have their own version of events.
Legally, I'm not allowed to talk about it. But hey. Why not? Basically, at the end of the day, it was crazy.
Well, talking about Alfonso Ribeiro, who is best known for playing Carlton Banks on the show, his role brought laughter to millions, thanks to his unforgettable charm and hilarious dance moves. But what many people don't know is that Ribeiro almost didn't get the chance to play this famous role. Can you imagine someone else being Carlton? It's hard to picture, but it almost happened.
And I went in and I read, and, I just remember the entire room laughing at every joke that they were supposed to laugh at, and I just left and I felt great.
In a revealing 2017 interview with Digital Spy, Ribeiro shared that he had initially won the role of Carlton after a successful audition. Everyone loved his performance, but after filming the first episode, the producers started to have doubts. They actually thought about replacing him. Ribeiro explained, "There was a moment where I was hired, then rehired. You could say there was a chance someone else could have played Carlton." Thankfully, the producers decided to keep him on the show. Ribeiro said, "Luckily enough, they made the decision to continue with me, and the rest is history." And what a great decision that was. Ribeiro's portrayal of Carlton, with his iconic V-neck sweaters and bow ties, became a key part of the show's success. Carlton is also famous for his Carlton dance. This dance became so popular that it was featured in video games like Fortnite. However, Ribeiro wasn't happy when he saw his dance being used without permission. In 2018, he filed a lawsuit against the creators of Fortnite for copying his moves without asking him. Ribeiro argued that the game's fresh emote was too similar to the Carlton dance, but he faced challenges in court. The U.S. Copyright Office said that his dance wasn't complex enough to be copyrighted. They also mentioned that NBC, the network behind The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, might actually own the rights to the dance. Ribeiro eventually dropped the lawsuit in 2019.
Okay, I didn't go ice skating. I went to a party.
Tatyana, best known for playing the sweet and shy Ashley Banks on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, had one of her most awkward moments on set during a very important part of her life, her first real kiss. What was supposed to be a sweet and private moment for her quickly became a moment she wished she could forget, all thanks to her co-stars and the pressure of being in front of the cameras. In a 2018 interview with Us Weekly, Tatyana shared how this special moment went from bad to worse. Imagine this. You're about to have your first kiss, and instead of it being a quiet personal moment, you're surrounded by huge cameras and your co-stars are watching your every move.
I just remember people that were not involved in the scene at all, coming to set that afternoon to see.
Oh no!
And I just remember Karen Parsons, who played Hillary Banks, Karen, Alfonso, and we had the cameras on.
Tatyana said that her co-stars, Alfonso Ribeiro and Karen Parsons, who played her on-screen siblings, Carlton and Hillary Banks, decided to show up on set that day. Their presence made things even more nerve-wracking. They weren't supposed to be there, and Tatyana wasn't expecting them to watch such an intimate scene. Tatyana recalled how she felt during that moment, saying, "I just remember Alfonso and Karine standing there with the cameras. And on sitcoms, the cameras are like huge cameras. I just remember them looking behind the camera. Who has their first kiss like that?" At that moment, Tatyana felt like she wanted to disappear. She even said, "I wanted to die."
I just remember them looking behind the camera And now it's like a fun, you know.
Sure, now it's funny.
I mean, who has a first kiss like that?
Right.
At the time, I wanted to kill him.
But over time, she was able to move on from that embarrassing experience. By 2013, Tatyana was more open about discussing relationships and her personal experiences. In an interview with HuffPost, she joked about how her views on things like relationships had changed over the years. She humorously mentioned that she considers certain things like one-night stands to be guilty pleasures. She even compared it to her love for bread pudding, joking, "Who doesn't love bread pudding?" Even though her first on-set kiss was a disaster, Tatyana Ali grew from the experience. Over the years, she has become more comfortable in her own skin and learned to laugh about the awkward moments in life. She's no longer the shy, young Ashley Banks we saw on TV, but a strong, confident woman who can look back on these memories with grace and humor.
What did you do?
Everybody's always blaming me for everything.
Before he became president, Donald Trump was known for many things, including his unusual habits and flashy lifestyle. One lesser-known part of his life was his acting career. Trump made cameo appearances in various movies and TV shows, like Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, and The Nanny. One of his appearances was in the popular show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which aired in 1994. But his time on set was far from smooth. In the episode titled For Sale by Owner, Trump played a guest role. According to a crew member who spoke to Newsweek, Trump was not an easy person to work with during filming. The crew member revealed that Trump was unhappy with his script. He complained to the show's executive producer, Gary H. Miller, saying his lines weren't funny enough. Miller, confident in his work, tried to reassure Trump by saying, "Trust me, you'll get a laugh." Despite this encouragement, Trump remained upset. He reportedly threw the script pages onto the floor in frustration. This scene caused quite a stir among the crew. Trump's then-wife, Marla Maples, was seen picking up the scattered pages. When a crew member offered to help her, she replied, "I got them. I'm so sorry." The crew member who witnessed the incident described Trump's behavior as rude and disrespectful. They said, "The way he did it was terrible." This encounter left a strong impression on those who were there, highlighting the challenges of working with Trump during his brief acting career.
Let's go down the street. I brought cash. It's quicker.
Nice meeting you all.
It's interesting to see how Trump's attitude during this filming experience adds to the stories about him. His time on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is just one of many examples that show his complex personality. While many people remember him for his role in politics, moments like this remind us of his past in Hollywood.
No, she had like 8 auditions that day, right? So she's looking, she said, yeah, it's such
Oh, no.
Oh, Denzel Washington's having something. Denzel, I want to go to that one. Fresh Prince. Fresh what? Parents just don't, no, I ain't going to that.
At first, when Karen heard about a new show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, she wasn't excited about the show. Back then, she was working as a restaurant hostess in Hollywood, and the idea of a sitcom starring a rapper didn't really interest her. In a 2014 interview with NPR, Karen shared her thoughts when she first heard about the show. She said, "I remember thinking, oh God, it's a sitcom with a rapper. Like, what's that?" She had doubts not just about the show itself, but also about whether she could fit the role of Hillary. The producers originally wanted Hillary to be an effortlessly cool model. Karen didn't think she fit that image at all. She felt it was ridiculous to even try out for a part that seemed so different from who she was. But despite her worries, Karen decided to audition. Instead of trying to be the perfect model that the producers wanted, she made Hillary her own. She added a bratty attitude to the character, which made her stand out. This unique twist is what ultimately won her the role. Even after getting the part, Karen didn't stop working at her day job. She wanted to be sure that the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air would succeed before leaving her hostess job behind. But soon the show became very popular, and Karen's hard work paid off. She became a beloved character in one of the most iconic sitcoms of the 1990s. While Karen was stepping into her role, there were other people who didn't think Will Smith would become a big star. Will had already found success in music, and his personality shined on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. However, many of his co-stars weren't sure if he would really make it big in Hollywood. They didn't realize just how talented he was. As the show went on, he became a household name. His charm and talent took him to new heights, making him one of the biggest stars in the world. Karen doubted herself but decided to embrace the challenge. This decision not only changed her life, but also made her a memorable part of a classic show.
Great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him!
But what happened to the cast members after the show ended? Let's take a closer look at their journeys, starting with Will Smith, who was the star of the show. Before The Fresh Prince, he was a rapper known as the Fresh Prince. The show made him a household name. After the series ended in 1996, Will continued to act in movies. He became one of Hollywood's biggest stars, appearing in films like Men in Black, Independence Day, and Pursuit of Happiness. Will also won an Oscar for his role in King Richard. In recent years, he has been in the news for various reasons, including a controversial incident at the Oscars, but he remains a beloved figure in entertainment. On to the next.
And I worked hard to open doors for you. It doesn't make you any less of a man to walk through.
James Avery played Uncle Phil, the caring yet strict father figure in the show. He was known for his deep voice and wise advice. After The Fresh Prince, James continued to work in TV and movies, lending his voice to many animated shows like The Lion King as the voice of Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sadly, James passed away in 2013, but fans remember him fondly for his incredible talent. And then we have Janet Hubert played the original Aunt Viv for the first 3 seasons. She was known for her strong presence and acting skills. However, she left the show due to behind-the-scenes tensions, and her character was replaced by Daphne Maxwell-Reid. After the show, Janet had a tough time finding work and often spoke about her experiences in interviews. She later returned to the spotlight with reality TV and continued acting, showing that she could overcome challenges. Next is
Jazz's crib. Crib, house-dwelling domicile.
Alfonso Ribeiro played Carlton Banks, Will's cousin. Carlton was known for his preppy style and funny dance moves. After the show, Alfonso continued acting, but also became a director. He has appeared on various TV shows and even won Dancing with the Stars in 2014. Today, he hosts America's Funniest Home Videos, bringing laughter to families across the country. Tatyana Ali played Ashley Banks, the youngest cousin. After The Fresh Prince run, she pursued music and acting. Tatyana released a few songs and appeared in different TV shows and movies. She also graduated from Harvard University, showing that she values education. Today, she is still acting and is involved in various projects, including producing. Next, Joseph Marcel played Jeffrey, the wise and funny butler. After the show, he continued his acting career and even returned to the stage in various productions. Joseph has also been involved in charity work and is known for his impressive performances in theater. Finally,
seems like just yesterday when I was wiping the tears from his eyes.
Oh, no, that was yesterday, Aunt Viv.
Daphne Maxwell-Reid, who took over the role of Aunt Viv after Janet Hubert. She brought a different style to the character. After The Fresh Prince, Daphne worked in acting and directing and even started her own clothing line. She has remained active in the entertainment industry and enjoys her work.